Welcome back to Amnesia, a late night drink, the last sip. Now, probably today I'm going to upload this one before Dark Case because I'm going to edit something in Dark Case, just a really small edit. But I know when I edit something in Premiere Pro, and I still want to keep the same kind of format of like 30p, I mean 720p 30 fps. It will take a long time for it to process it, so you know I will upload this one first, and in the meantime when it's uploading I will edit the Dark Case one. I just do a really tiny edit, like a small circle somewhere for a couple of seconds to highlight something, and I'm sure that if I want to export my video, it will take maybe an hour in order for it to process it. It's ridiculous. But okay, let's continue with the last sip. Oh, this is the journal that we're talking about. That was long. It's quite long, yeah. It's really long. Okay, let's go. My name is Vincent Sanders. I am 12 years of age. I'm writing in this journal because my mother believes it would be good for me. She said that normal boys keep diaries. When I corrected her by saying a boy would call it a journal, she corrected the location of my cheek with the back of her hand. I think she only wants me to write in this so that I don't bother her with my feelings. I've been confined to my room for the heinous action of speaking out of turn. It would appear that I must learn my lesson, that when mother and father have their homunculus guests over, I am to play the role of the perfect son. It makes sense, as those are the only times they deign to play the role of the perfect parents. I can hear the arguing downstairs. I suppose that's what happens when you tell your father's boss the things he calls him when he's not there. Lol. I was told to stay in my room until morning. I've danced this dance long enough to know that it actually means until the guests leave and my father comes with the belt. I'm going to leave before that happens. I'm going on the second floor, so I'll need to find something to tie together and dangle out the window. There's an old crowbar in my desk. I'll need to pull down the curtains that will serve as part of my escape ladder. It has been 6 months since my last entry. My grand plan didn't go so well. The last thing I can remember about the night is the makeshift rope ladder snapping and falling to what my naive mind thought was certain death. Instead I landed in the pool. My father has said for 4 years that he would teach me to swim. Things aren't all bad though. Although the experience itself was horrifying, there were witnesses. Questions were asked, questions like why a little boy would attempt to flee his home, or why that same boy had so many strange markings on his body. My favorite part was my father screaming at the judge that he would never strike his son. When he pleaded to tell him why, his tears almost had even me convinced. My mother played the part of the innocent frightened wife very well. She visited me in the hospital every day. She is pretending to have changed. I almost believed she had until she told me her new boyfriend's arm on her shoulder that she is sending me off to a boarding school. It was hard to hide how relieved I was to be away from her, but I managed. I leave in a week. I can't believe this thing is still here. I kept it hidden behind a plank of wood for fear that one of my parents would see it. Man, I used to try way too hard to sound eloquent. Anyway, boarding school sucked. Funny enough, my parents had actually prepared me for it. Graduation was a few weeks ago. Mom never visited me at school. The only times I got to see her was at Christmas and the brief few days between start of summer break and when I was shipped off to camp. She looks worse every year. Once my dad's money dried up, the stream of boyfriends stopped and she just spent her time drinking herself to death. She hadn't gotten there yet, but I'm rooting for her. It's lucky that she paid the school tuition in full. I even found out that 2 years ago she attempted to get a refund for the remaining years. I should be looking to get to college right about now, but I have no cash. That's where Uncle Sam, aka United States, comes in. A few years in the army and I get free college. Just stopped in to pick up a few things of my things. I'd leave them, but I noticed some real estate listings on the kitchen table. By the looks of it, she is trying to figure out how much she could sell the house for. I love to see the look on his face when my father gets out of jail in a few years and finds his house gone. But hopefully we'll be on the other side of the planet by then. You know what? I think I'm going to take this journal with me. Nobody can figure out why I'm handling bootcamp so well. I could tell them about my upbringing and how I basically been in bootcamp since I was an infant, but I'll just let them keep thinking I'm He-Man. I had to stand outside all night because I laughed in the drill sergeant's face. When he asked what was so funny, I told him nothing. In truth, I was laughing because how tame he was in comparison to the guy from the new Kubrick film I saw before joining up. I think he's talking about I think it is Full Metal Jacket, something like that. Yeah, it's a famous scene with a sergeant screaming up and saying, "Show me your war face." "That's not a war face. This is a war face," and then they scream. Figured it would be a good last movie to see before enlisting. That it would prepare me, and now I've got water in my ears from standing in the rain all night. At the last minute I begged him not to make me do it. I pleaded with him, but I told him that I was afraid of water a lot and told me to call it immersion therapy. I take it back. The guy from the movie is nicer. Looks like I'm going to South America. In the words of my esteemed officer, I'll be doing what the army does when there aren't any good damn wars to fight. Sissy pants humanitarian efforts. Not even sure why they gave you a gun, boy. Should you just send off with a box of tampons and a dress? I told them I wished I'd been born early enough to use my rifle on those damn gooks in Vietnam. Fucking hate racist bigots, but I've been here long enough to learn how to play these fuckers like a fiddle. He twisted a sense of camaraderie, scored me some extra rations. I really don't care where they send me, as long as that tuition check clears once I'm done. I haven't had much time to write, been going from village to village. Half of my time is spent helping people, the other half threatening the small rebel forces. I wouldn't even call them rebels, just kids with bad upbringing trying to find a purpose in life. I should know, that's exactly what I am. Damn it, I was so close. I almost got out with some of the best shit I've ever smoked. And in the end I only got a 30-minute speech about not being allowed to bring anything back with us. I'm gonna come back here someday. That stuff may not have done what they said it would do, but it was good. Then again, I can't think of any dead people I want to reach, so who knows. I'm the luckiest person alive. I have to slow down. Okay, so I finally went back to get back stateside. I'm heading home to say goodbye to my mother before going off to college. For all she'd done, I figured she at least deserves a goodbye. I never could have expected what I found. There was a family in the house that I didn't recognize. When I inquired about my mother, they told me I should talk to the police. So I went to the station, and after some confusion about who I am, I found out that 2 years after I left for the army, my mother sold the house. When my father got released and found out, he first attacked the people who bought it. Then he hunted down my mother. He found my mom at a 5-star hotel getting a pedicure and making flight plans over the phone. Making flight plans over the phone for her upcoming vacation in Hawaii. Now he's back in jail for aggravated assault, attempted murder, and destruction of public property. My mother is in jail as well for lying about owning the house she sold, as well as several drug charges for stuff that was found in her car. Now here's the best part. Since my father is in for life and my mother never technically owned the house, everything defaults to me. I was given the choice. I can either legally evict the people who bought the house or just keep what my mother was paid for it, minus what she spent on the drugs, since that's now evidence that I have no claim to. I now have 225 grand, which is I think almost $250,000. On top of the money the army is giving me for college. I need a little time to think. So I mean, $500,000, get yourself another house. I mean, why would you want to stay in a house that has so many horrible memories? I mean, I'm sure you can get another house without any mortgage for that amount of money. I'm starting college tomorrow. Blowing through $30,000 was fun, but I think it's time to get serious about my life. I'm not much a religious man, but I do consider what happened as a gift. I'll not waste it. Anna, she says her name is Anna. We met while waiting for the bus. She's an angel. I don't want to sound like one of those sappy movies, but when I'm with her, I forget all about my childhood. I haven't told her about that. I don't know if I ever can. The past is the past. And now I'm looking at the future with this wonderful woman. I haven't told her about the money I have. My mother was only with my father because he was rich, but Anna would never do that. Maybe I should tell her. She was crying. She found my journal in my footlocker. She said she was sorry for reading it. I could tell that she was really saying she was sorry for what she had found in it. I raised my voice. I just wanted to know why she was going through my stuff. The look on her face when I yelled. For a moment I was 12 years old again, watching my father yell at my mother. My God, how much of the mother I knew was because of him. I will never yell at her again. I will not become my father. She was holding a card in her hand, a Valentine's card. She was going to hide it under one of my pairs of underwear. She knew I dated my underwear and cycled them in and out on the same days. An old habit from the military. I was going to hide it under the ones I wear on that day. We held each other. She kept apologizing, at first for reading my journal. Then she apologized for every time she asked about my youth. Anna is not dumb. She noticed how I refused every drink of alcohol ever offered to me. Though we've not been intimate, she noticed the marks on my lower back whenever my shirt was off. She's a damn calculus major, for fuck's sake. She can put two to two together. When she looked me in the eyes that night on the floor by my footlocker, a journal full of pain at her side, she told me, "You're not your father." I asked her to marry me immediately. She said yes. Everything has been moving so fast lately. Anne and I finished our final 2 years of college. Graduation is in a week and the wedding is 2 weeks after that. We've picked out a house, 2 stories and a nice cellar. No electricity, but we get that sorted out eventually. Something about the wiring being so old that it is too dangerous to turn anything on. Interesting. At least the water works. A lot has changed since I last wrote on these pages. Started drinking. Did I scare you, journal? No. I'm drinking wine. According to Anna, you get all joys of drinking, without being trailer trash. Seems I have a knack for it too. I do tastings once a month and they love me there. I think I'll use the part of that cellar for the small collection I've been building. Anna says I should start writing here again. When I started to rip out the early pages, she stopped me. She's right, I can't run from the past. Looks like I have a quota. Anna told me that if I didn't write at least once a week, she'll cut me off. What do you mean? I don't know if she was talking about my wine or sex. Either way, considering this my return to the world of telling my most intimate secrets to a glorified notebook. Psst, I'm actually a Martian, don't tell anyone. No wait, I'm a secret agent who had teamed up with a Martian after his homeworld was ravaged by another race of aliens who now have their sights set on Earth. That would make a cool film. Vincent, when I told you to write here, I didn't mean act silly. This is not a place to make jokes, and I was talking about sex. P.S. I would so watch that film. This is wonderful. Anna is going to have a baby. This is my chance to show the world what a good father is like. This is going to be the most spoiled kid in the world. I have my reservations about whether I can be a good parent, but I think that as long as I have Anna by my side, I can do anything. Well, spoiling a kid is also not good. It's also not good parenting. No matter how many times I read this, I'm sorry that the rest of the pages seem to be ripped out. Maybe I can find some somewhere around the house. Come to think of it, I seem to remember seeing some scraps here and there. Didn't realize they were from the journal at the time though. God, that was a lot of reading. You can skip that if you want. Well, it's a little bit too late to say that. It's a little bit too late to say that, yeah. I don't have my lantern. Or, no, I don't. Alright, so I found the crowbar here. That's what I can remember. Oh yeah, those were those tinder boxes. I know, but I don't have any lantern. Stupid tip. Being obnoxious and all. Turn up page 4. The therapist that comes to my house once a month has suggested I write my thoughts down. It took me a little while to dig out this journal. The quack doesn't seem to realize that with my money, seeing a therapist isn't the sign of believing in his particular brand of bullshit. Simply the same level of morbid freak curiosity that would lead one to see a donkey show. I guess that writing in this thing once in a while couldn't hurt. What can I update it with? Well, I've turned my wine passion, obsession really, into a lucrative business. I don't really need the money, but at least it keeps me busy. It's funny, I took up wine tasting in college to meet girls and found I liked it. I bet my father and I could have had a lot of fun or something like that. Okay, so I'm just fetching diary pages now. That's what I'm doing. Yay! Fun. Boy oh boy. Is there still some mashed potatoes? No. Oh. Well, it wasn't that bad reading. I mean, at least the story was somewhat interesting. Would be a pain in the ass if the story wasn't interesting. Oh, hell no. Turn on page 3. I met a woman named Sarah. She reminds me a little of Anna, a kindness mostly, though she does not have the same spark that my love had. Either way, the meeting was not for pleasure. I'm hiring a maid, well, assistant really. She will help me with my day-to-day needs such as foods and errands. I'm becoming more and more recluse as time goes on, and having someone who will go into town for me to pick up things and gab with annoying nosy people, well, it's worth the money. Besides, I can't cook. I only met Sarah recently. I guess at the chance meeting where she was casually revealed she was a realtor and offered me something. Bruh. Wait, they do have those transcripts, right? What was a transcript? Guess not. Hey, where are the diaries gone? No. Huh? Never mind. I think the diary was in Dark Case. Okay, I have to find 2 more somewhere. And then I can rest my... Can I go up? No? Yeah, hey. Can go up. I didn't know that. Interesting. But I still haven't checked out the last door. Or 2 doors, perhaps. I don't think I... No, I can't go out. Help, I'm locked in. Okay, so this door. That's also locked. Okay, so... Going back was futile. Let's go up. Okay, so there's the door here. Wow, goes even more up there. So all I have to do is just find those diary pages. Oh, fun. About the book collection. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Hey Michael, I've made it through the first row of bookshelves. As you requested, I put everything I didn't want in my own collection up for sale. I made sure to leave any good horror novels like you asked. There's some good stuff in there, but it is mainly all the stuff like Lovecraft and Poe. So you're going to have to look elsewhere to build your collection of King first editions. He's talking about Stephen King probably. Yeah, most likely. Look, I know you think you owe me some bullshit because I took a few punches for you back in the orphanage. But you don't. I will be paying you for anything I keep for myself. I hope you don't mind that I kept working on the collection while you were in the hospital. I figured if you didn't pull through, I knew you would. I just used the books sold for on your funeral. Well, what I had left after the hookers and blow. Joking aside, we actually made a killing. I left your share, a bit more than you wanted, and I won't take a no for an answer. In the chest by the window. Anyway, I'm heading out of town on business. I'll be back in a few weeks to work more on the collection. Take care, man. Roger. Roger that, Roger. Hilarious shit. Okay.
Where is my share? I need my share. Money.
Just by the window. Just a luck, I need to find 4 keys for it, and they probably won't be in the same place where they were before. Really now? Land! Hey, where's my lantern then? Really, I need to find the fucking 4 keys in order to just open a chest with my share. I could use my crowbar. Yeah, good. Damn. Seems the mechanism to open the hidden door is stuck. Since when did I know there was a hidden door here? Cash. Turn on page 6. They say that if you kill yourself, you don't get to go to heaven. I'm not a religious man, but there is even a slightest chance a place like that exists. I know Anna is going first class. I know I asked my teacher after one of those stupid PSAs about being there for a friend in need. The one where someone tells that tired story about seeing someone unpacking their locker, asked them to hang out, become friends, and later learns they were packing up their stuff because they planned to kill themselves. Anyway, I asked the teacher why stories like that exist, but when someone goes through with a suicide, the grief counselor always says there's nothing you could have done. The teacher wasn't prepared to answer a question like that. They never are. There was never anyone there to answer my question either, but I just got a lantern full of oil, so where the hell is my lantern?
Give me my lantern now.
Dolly stood backyard balcony, but it's way too rickety for me to trust. I'll get around getting it repaired eventually.
Give me oil.
Oh, hello there. This distasteful room of gaudy splendors is where I have entertained guests for the past 13 years. Idiots from around town and people interested in my wine collection. I despise a lot of them. They chortle and guffaw in glee as I play the piano. They ask how I got so good at it. The lie I tell is practice. The truth, I spent 2 years getting lessons in the off time that the instructor could spare when she wasn't helping my father cheat on my mother. I never cared for this crap myself. My plan is to turn this into a movie room. I'm gonna have a huge projector. Okay. Oh, my. Oh. I'm getting there eventually. To the end of all the reading, I suppose. Okay, still need to get my lantern though. That's my cash, by the way. Rage is the most ugly thing on this planet. I grew up on the receiving end of the hideousness. I can't let that happen to my child. I'll have to send him somewhere. I love him. I don't blame him for her death. But when I look at him, he has her eyes. Forgive me, Anna. He'll be better off without me. I hated that orphanage, but I wonder if I was better off. Maybe if we had each other, my father would have slipped that far. God damn it. Okay, I'm just getting all the pages together. Oh. Sorry. I found this cursed thing while sitting in the bedroom on the floor next to a spilled wine bottle. I'm not even sure why I'm bothering to write it in it. She's gone. The doctor gave me a bunch of horseshit excuses for why he couldn't save her. For why she would die giving birth to a child in this day and age. I'd have his fucking head for my trophy case if it weren't for him. My child, Michael. I named him Michael. Anna and I said that if it were a girl, she'd get to name it. If it were a boy, I'd get to name it. The devil is taunting me. The wine I spilled as I reached for this stupid book was made in its way next to the wine I dropped in surprise when I first found out the pregnancy. It looks almost like a cliché Valentine's Day heart, with a crack down in the middle. But that isn't what a heart looks like. A heart is a disgusting bloody lump of an organ that can apparently give out without warning during labor. Oh God, Anna, what am I going to do? Not sure if I could ever handle a loss that great. So she died in childbirth, and then eventually the bloke met Sarah, Excuse me. Use the item that way. Okay, so where's my lantern though? Still need my lantern. I found most of the direct pages as far as I can remember, but man, what a hunt. So much talking. Alright, I'll just double check everything and then I suppose I have to go downstairs again for one reason or another. I mean, I think I still need to find my lantern, right? I really want my lantern. Come on, man. Fuck you, cello. Okay, I can't touch it. Yeah, okay, I've been here. Locked. Okay, so let's go down. And perhaps I missed the lantern somewhere here, I don't know. What exactly did you expect to find under here? Nice one, developer. I don't know, my lantern perhaps? Alright. Oh, at least I could do that actually. I don't not. Yay. Alright, perhaps there's something in here that I missed. Nope. So this is a story about his father, about this protagonist's father, I suppose. And about his grandfather going to jail. Holy shit. Look at that. Oh boy. Alrighty then, so what's my purpose now? I don't know. I have no clue. Lantern. Huh. Okay. How about here? No. Okay. Yeah. And then you have this room. Oh yeah, I've been here already probably. Yeah. Okay, so there was like a hidden mechanism somewhere there that was stuck. So let's check that out for a minute, and if I can't, oh, they go upstairs. Upstairs is here. If I can't figure it out, then I guess I'll stop it. The library was this way. So hidden mechanism here stuck. A crowbar for that. No clue how I figured it out, but seems to. So it did have some sort of hint to us that there is something here or in this area that has a secret, right? When you got my body. But I don't have a lantern. What are you talking about, boy? Where's my lantern? I thought I had a lantern before. The door is stuck firmly. My crowbar is no yet. Maybe I could get some rope from the storage downstairs. Okay. I'm getting my rope from downstairs. Boy. Boy, oh boy. It was from the storage, right? This is the storage. I mean, there's likely to be some rope in the crates at the far end. Okay. Guess I got my rope. Ah, there it is. Oh boy. I really wish I had a lantern. Didn't I had one before? I don't know. Okay. Fuck off. Oh boy. Well, that worked out better than I thought it would. It didn't crush me. Good there, Satan. This is used to summon Satan. Oh. Turn on page 7. As I left the forest with the Hakimara plant in Tao, I encountered a local. I reluctantly talked to them about what I was doing. It was a good thing he didn't try to stop me, as I was preparing to do things I would have regretted. He gave me a general speech about being careful not to mess with things I do not understand, but allowed me to leave. I'm a weak man, I lied. If he tried to stop me, I would have had dropped the plants and wept like a child. Like the child that I am. Anna had taken away my fears. Now again I panic when it starts raining. I again cry every time I look in the mirror at the scars of my body, and I yelp in fear whenever I swear I can hear a belt snap. He was a broken man even before the demons got to him. I think this is all the pages I'll be able to find today. I need... really... Man... What a useless day. Blech. I need some action and some lantern. Some lantern action. Alright then. Whoop. Let's go to sleep again. God. Okay, we will finally see some action in day 3. We will see that in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.